Welcome to Pilates and Yoga for Parkinson's and for anyone else. My name is Meg. Today I decided to get a little creative, come out of the yoga studio, and thought it would be a good idea to have our practice in the kitchen. Since you're unable to go to your classes right now, why not learn how to practice in your home? To me, quite often in the classes that I teach, we talk about things we could do with the kitchen counter. It provides great stability. So today, everything that we're going to do will be standing and using the kitchen counter for a little extra support if it's needed. To start, let's just check in with our alignment at the counter. So your feet are pretty much under the hips. I would think about 2 fist widths apart. Again, just a guideline. So you're pressing those feet down into the floor. Gives you that rebound of the crown of the head reaching high. And at least for me, when I do that, I am already starting to feel my center engage. So we're getting as tall as we can. Once you find all that length, let's put a little bend in the knees. That helps protect the knees and the back and just general with balance. It's a much better position. Guidelines for alignment as we're standing here with this long spine is that your ears should pretty much be over your shoulders, which are over your rib cage, over your pelvis, and then over your heels. That's just a guideline. Depending on what's going on in your body, it might be a little different. So see what it's like to feel all of that in your body. If you're comfortable with it, you could maybe even close your eyes. The benefit of closing the eyes is it shuts out that visual stimulation or distraction and really allows you to feel your alignment. So feel the feet pressing down into the floor. Feel the crown of the head reaching high. With the hands on the counter, if you spread those fingers wide and just kind of gently slide the hands back a bit, you might feel your chest pull forward slightly and your shoulders become more a part of the back of your body. So with your alignment all checked in, shift your attention to your breath. First, just simply noticing, what is the quality of your breath today? How would you describe it? Is it smooth, choppy, full, even? Just simply notice what you notice when you start paying attention. If it feels at all like it would make sense to modify it a bit, take a moment to do that. So as you're ready, we're going to go ahead and blink open those eyes. Several times, we're going to, at the same time, lift the fingers and the toes. Just kind of wiggle them around a little bit. Spread them wide. And then starting with the pinky fingers and the pinky toes, see if one at a time you could place them back down to the floor and the countertop. And we're going to do that several times. And I know the tendency, you want to look down and see what's happening, so if you need to look a couple of times, do. But then, return to your ideal alignment. Nice. Next time fingers and toes are back to the floor, we're going to shift this up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my heels and lift the palm of a hand. So that means my fingertips and toes are staying down as the hand, the wrist, and the heels lift up. So a good way to start checking in with the balance, getting a little more movement in the body. This next time that you lift up, just hang out right here for a moment. Come back to the breath. And then as you're ready, slowly and with control, lower down. Nice. Okay, from here, we're gonna step the feet back a little bit further. And we've already played some with the counter. I want your hands to be kind of gripping because it's gonna provide you a little bit of balance, maybe a lot. Before we go to our next exercise, I want you to take your feet. They're gonna stay right where they are, but I want you to press your legs away from each other. And when you press your legs away, you should feel the outside muscles of your legs engage. We're going to do the same thing with the arms. Press the arms away from each other, and now you're finding some engagement in the upper arm. Nice, relax that, and then we're going to switch it. I'm going to slide my legs towards each other, so I'm getting my inner thighs. I'm going to slide my arms towards each other. Arms and chest engaged, shoulders a bit. So just kind of waking up all those muscles. So relax all of that, but keep that idea of engagement in your muscles. And what we're going to work on is sending the hips down and back. So when I look down right now, I can very easily see my feet. And that's what we're going for. So go ahead and look down, make sure you can see your feet. If you can't see your feet, it's because your knees have come way far forward, and I want you to shift your hips back. That brings your knees back, and now you're just in a much safer alignment for your legs. So from here, go ahead and stand back up. Think about alignment, ears, shoulders, rib cage, pelvis. Sit back into that imaginary chair and stand back up. Go ahead and do several of these. If you need to check your alignment and look down at those toes, go for it, but then remember to bring the head back up. And although our torso is at a slight angle now, we still are keeping the same alignment cues going on. Next time you lower back, hang out there for a few breaths. Now, while you're here, you're deciding how low you're going, right? So you could go into a really deep squat, or maybe you're up a little bit higher. Pull your belly in strong. That's gonna help to protect your lower back. Some of you might like lift in an arm, keep those shoulders as a part of the back of the body. You can switch to the opposite arm. Let's go ahead and stand it back up. If you're getting tired, always take a break. Just kind of wiggle around a little bit. Let's go one more. Gonna shift back. Beautiful alignment. Long spine, strong belly. If you really feel like adding on some challenge, you could bring one hand up. If it's not a good idea, don't do it. You can keep those hands on the counter. Maybe you bring the other hand up. Maybe you bring the hands up high. All of these different arm positions are gonna possibly change what you feel in your body. So be creative. Let's take the hands back to the counter and stand it up. Whew. Notice if your breath has changed at all. Lots of information. Okay, so we've got those legs moving. I want to get into the upper body some. And we're going to play with some push-ups at the counter. My hand, I like to have like the base of the palm on the edge of the counter. So that's going to keep me from sliding. I have on socks today because my feet are really cold, but they aren't slippery, so I feel safe. If you have on socks and they're slippery, you might want to take them off. So what we're going to do is you get to play with how far away you are from the counter. Find that bend in your knees. And I'm leaning forward, so I'm at a slight angle, but hopefully crown of the head still reaching long. Ears, shoulders, rib cage, pelvis, right? That's what I'm going for. So I want you, when you bend through the elbows, to have your upper arms come in along by your side. So that means that my elbow is still in line with my wrist. And then press away. What I don't want to see is your elbows going out to the sides, because now see, my wrist and my elbow are all kind of wacky. So again, when you bend, elbows come into the sides, elbows and wrist and fingers all in alignment, and then press away. So let's do several of those. Now, depending on how tight you are through the backs of your legs, your heels might come up off the floor, and that's fine. My belly is strong. All those alignment cues apply. I'm breathing as I move. Shoulders are out of my ears. Woo. Next time you come up, let's shake those wrists out a little bit. So, ways you can change your intensity. You might take your feet back a little further. Now, when you do that, look at this. I've lost my alignment, right? So if these become my push-ups, I've lost it. I want to keep ears, shoulders, rib cage, pelvis, kind of back to those heels. So if you step back further, you're still keeping that long line from the heels all the way through your body up to the crown of your head. Another thing, if you want to play with intensity, you could bring those feet a little closer together. Alignment doesn't change, but I could take my right foot, reach it back. Now I've got this one-legged push-up. Play with a few of those. Put that foot back down, other foot lifts up. Caution, when you lift that leg up, make sure you don't collapse. You're still staying strong through the belly. A few of these to even it out. Beautiful. Next time you come up, place that foot down, and just shake all that out. So we found our upper body moving along nicely. Let's go ahead and from here, let's just turn it to the side for a moment. So what I've got now is one hand on the counter, but the other one's free to do some moving around. I'm going to take my feet, turn them out at a slight angle, and I want my knees to go out at that same angle, so my hips kind of externally rotate, so I can bend my knees a little bit. It's kind of like I'm riding a horse. So I've got a little bend in the knees. This arm that's away from the counter, I've got all my alignment in place. I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to reach it up and even over. So I'm kind of crossing over the midline and then come back down. Let's do several of those. On this one, we're going to lift up, reach over, and I want you to hang out right there a few breaths. So my shoulders out of my ears. My belly is still strong. Notice if you're kind of rounding forward, because I want you to stay back. It's almost like I'm pressing my arm into an imaginary wall behind me. You could come up on the toes of that outside foot. You can even reach that arm long. So now I have this big, beautiful line of energy from fingertips all the way up the side of my body, up to my fingers, toes. You could take the other hand and reach it long as well. So now we're getting all the side body strength going on. And then come back to center. Hands come down. Roll that out a little bit. To bring your feet back together, just a fun little balance challenge, is I'm gonna slide my toes in, and then my heels, and then my toes, and then my heels. Here I am. Gonna flip it all the way around. And I'm sorry to have my back to you, but we're gonna get that other side. So feet are apart, turned out at a slight angle, bend through those knees, and my knees are pretty much pointing in the same direction as my toes. Check my alignment, got my hand on the counter. When you're ready, as you inhale, reach that arm up, sweep it over, big stretch, and then back to where we started. So we're gonna do several of those. next one, we're gonna reach up and over, and this is when we're gonna pause here for a moment. I'm reaching my arm long, keeping that shoulder away from my ear. Really strong through my center. If you want to, you could come up on the toes of the foot away from the counter. Long line of energy again. Maybe you reach the hand on the counter away from the body. It could even come up. Oh, feel the sides of the body working. You're long through your torso. Bring everything back to center. Arms are going to come down. Same thing again. You could heel, toe the feet together. Nice. Bring everything back to center. Hands to the counter. What we're going to do from here is walk the feet back and send your rear end back. So what I'm looking for here is I'm trying to find pretty much a 90-degree bend between my legs and my torso. Paying attention to your shoulders. The closer your hands are to each other, the more tension that puts in the shoulders. So you might need to take your hands kind of wide apart, and then you could come down into that 90-degree bend. I've got a bend in my knees. My spine is long. Imagine if you had a tail that you were just kind of wiggling that tail side to side. You're looking down at the floor. That keeps your neck long. Pull your belly towards your spine. We're just going to take several breaths here. As you're ready, go ahead and stand it back up. Walk the feet in. Find your balance here. If you're comfortable with both hands away from the counter, I want you just to take a moment, reach the hands back behind you, see if maybe you could find the other hand. You might just find a finger, you might be able to interlace the fingers. I want you to reach the knuckles down towards the floor and just gently pull those shoulders back slightly. So we're really trying to open up the chest. Alignment's still the same. Crown of the head's reaching high. We're pressing those feet down. Little bend in the elbows. Nice. Release the hands. They're going to come back down by the sides again. On an inhale, sweep those arms up. Reach as high as you can. Look up towards the fingertips. Exhale, hands are going to come back down. Again, inhale, sweep those arms up. This time, keep the left arm up. Let the right hand come down, and you're just going to watch as those fingertips come back down by your sides. Then you'll inhale them up. Same thing, other side. Left hand, fingertips float down, and you're just watching, getting a little release through the neck and back up. Both hands are going to come down. Take a moment here and allow the eyes to close again. You might prefer your hands back on the countertop, or maybe they're just gently down by your sides. See if we could just take 5 breaths here. Blink open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today for our first of several routines at the countertop. So I will see you back here sometime soon, and I hope you have a